Hi, I'm Matt the Comic Guy. And what am I covering today? Well, I'm covering something interesting today. Today I like to cover, well, today I like to cover another new thing. Not any new thing. I like to cover another person that works on comics. This time, someone who also works on comics, but not very well used by general means. Frank Miller. Specifically, where he started. Start with how he started and where he's ended. Frank Miller was born in 1957. He didn't start until somewhere in his early 20s and late 70s. And one of those stories was of Daredevil. Specifically, his run of Daredevil was shown and what type of style writing he does. It was a success. And a few years after, he did The Dark Knight Returns. See, the interesting thing about Frank Miller is that in both of these stories, his writing was good. It was interesting, and actually knew how to do the exact way of the characters. But soon after, Frank Miller, in Linklater's terms, kind of got cuckoo. He got in crazy ways of his writing. By the rest of sometime after his next Batman story, Batman Year One, he sort of changed, became this thing during not too long after he started to know this territory. See, when he continued on writing stories, he started to become this strange yet crazy ideas for his writing. His earliest example was the sequel to his Dark Knight story, Dark Knight Strikes Again. Strange, crazy, and a lot of times total nonsense of what should and shouldn't be used for his story. Then he wrote another Batman story, All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder, which combined all his ways of writing stories and what he can continue on for certain more years. And just like The Dark Knight Strikes Again, it was all things that was going on in the story. Just this interesting strangeness and all of these crazy things happening and total nonsense. Stuff like in the series of All-Star Batman and Robin, again, the famous I'm the GD Batman, or Superman shouting that word every certain pages. Or don't get me started on how he wrote Wonder Woman in that type of series. And also his Batman of this version of Batman and what Linkar described as Crazy Steve. Yes, hilarious name, but that's the best example of what was going on with Frank Miller in his later years of writing stories for comics. A series of All-Star Batman and Robin and the Batman is definitely not being Batman-ish, if you know what I mean. You know, if you're enjoying to read all these stories, you may as well just laugh at the fact and how ridiculous it can be. Why? Because that's how far Frank Miller has become. So ridiculous of his use of stories that he definitely shows a remark that he's not like the previous use of him being a writer or artist. And when he continued on this way, it didn't change. But he did slow down after a while. Frank Miller for years went from a famous yet infinitely successful ways of doing a story of a comic to one of the interesting ways in how he's changed. He's not the only Miller I could discuss that has gone to this way, but that's a video for another time. Join me for tomorrow as we do a next and latest video on explaining the history of Godzilla. I'm like the kind of guy, I see you soon then.